welcome everybody to the Press Box. So glad you could join us today. I am here with Randy Young, Michael Best, Jim Rayburn. Michael Best over here buying some cryptocurrency, trying to get some stuff ready.
That's it right there.
That's that Bitcoin guy right there.
You know, trying to get ready for extra money for Christmas. So he's got to sell some, and you could share with us too, man. That'd be awesome.
It's coming. Just wait for it.
All right.
We're going to get him a nice oven mitt for Christmas.
Nice little oven.
All right. We'll talk a little football, and then we'll get into the Gainesville mess at the end of this a little bit. Just what we all want to be talking about here around Christmas time. But anyway, so Cairo lost to Jefferson. Great season, lost 47-28, but just want to recap the season, recap the game. Great season by the Syrup Makers. Feel like the trajectory is where you want it to go, and that is up. But tell me a little bit about the Jefferson game. You're up early.
Yeah, if you were a Syrup Maker fan and turned it off at the end of the first quarter, you were sadly disappointed later because we knew Jefferson was a very big football team, very physical football team, and very methodical. Just watching them, they line up in two tight ends with two slot backs and a quarterback and a running back, and they do nothing fancy. They just run it. So we felt like if we could jump ahead, maybe get them out of their game, that would help. And we jumped ahead. Brian Duncan had 3 touchdowns, 195 yards in the first quarter. The first one, Teal, at the end of a play, somebody stripped the ball and it bounced right up in Brian's hands, and he went about 70 yards for a touchdown. We stop him, get the ball back. They it was Puckett to Brian, about 70-something yards for another touchdown. Third time, he's in the Wildcat, lines up, takes it. Nobody touches him. He goes 60, 70 yards for a touchdown. So we're up 21-0, and I'm starting to think,
okay,
what is when are we going to have to run a clock? We're going to get home early tonight.
Bad idea to think.
I kept it in my mind. I didn't say it.
Don't say it. Don't ever say it.
And then all of a sudden, they went to work, and we had a couple of turnovers. We did a couple of sky kicks that have been very good for us. We have people mishandle them. We've gotten a touchdown. We've gotten fumbles off of them. So we sky kick it. They fumble it. We get it. And now we're about to go up 28-0. And we throw an interception. And it was from that point on that here they come. And they just would line up, and they would just come. We had more yardage than they did by the end of the game. But they had like 22 first downs, and we had 7 because they were just – and if you go back and look at their scoring plays, just about every one was from 2 yards out, 5 yards out, 3 yards out, where they just drove it right down and then just pushed it in. And they made 0 mistakes after that. And
I guess they figured out to cover 4 at some point, too.
Yeah, it's a good 4-4, And so then he got beat around pretty bad after that. He did get another touchdown in the third quarter. And we kept it close, but then eventually, the only thing worse for your defense is to have an offense that goes 3 and out because it keeps defense on field. The other end of that is an offense that scores on the first play, because that happened in the first quarter. We're bam, 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 and our defense is having to stay out there because our offense scored every time we touched the ball. So defense got worn down, and they just, like I said, their last touchdown was a pass, but every one of them were just nothing fancy.
Hey, just jumping in there, do you think that this Jefferson loss, you're losing to a big physical team, you think it may, in terms of, okay, we got to address this, we got to get bigger in the offseason kind of thing. You think that's going to really kind of
I think
catapult
anytime
into that?
you play a Central or play Jefferson like that, you see the need of nutrition. You see the needs of growing your team but you got to have a community that buys into it. And I think the good thing that's happened from the beginning of the year to the end of the year is the community has really come around and gotten excited about them. I mean, they had a little send off Thursday for the varsity starters went up early. And when they turned on Broad, I expected 30 people there. There might have been 200, 300 people lining the streets. It really, really excited the kids. And so the community's really come around, and I hope the fire keeps rolling and keeps going and gets everybody excited. And like I said, we've got a lot of people coming back. It was a season that, our last preseason game was against Worth County, and they beat us. And then our first game was Thomas County. and they beat us, and then we get in a good dog fight with Thomasville, and then they beat us. And all of a sudden, this team had every reason to just say, because nobody believed. Nobody, thought this is a wash. This season's going to be terrible. And those guys just went back to work, kept their head down, and grew together as a family, and just really came together as brothers, and just kept working and fighting. And they won 10 in a row. And one of the things that, since David Coleman has been put into this position and was kind of thrust into it, in the summer when the other coach resigned, it's been, K-Row, because we've been very successful in making the playoffs and stuff, but again, you hadn't beat those teams that you shouldn't beat. You're beating everybody you should beat, but you're not beating teams you should, that nobody thought you could beat. And this year,
you beat them.
It changed.
Yeah.
We beat Peach County, a very good Peach County team. We beat a very talented, very good Troup County team. So I think that this team is coming around. The coaching staff has stayed together, worked hard with the players, and it's just been a great year. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll build on for next year.
Yep.
That we can keep going, because like I said, we got a lot of these. We lose a lot of the secondary and a lot of our receivers. That's what those guys did most, and we losing our kicker. What a great kicker, Dre Bass. He's graduating, but hopefully, we can let this fall over into next year and keep rolling.
All right. Great season by the Cert Makers, and like I said, love to see that trajectory upwards for all the programs that we talk about, and glad to see it for the Cert Makers. Let's move on to Thomas County Central, who was behind. I guess that's the story behind. And then Deuce got loose there. That was an amazing kickoff return, but ended up winning this 49-19. But good to see the Jackets kind of take a punch in the face and punch back.
Well, unfortunately, it was one of those situations that are self-inflicted. A couple of turnovers that they were able to convert. Woodward's a very, very good football team, and it's a private school that goes out. They get the athletes they want. Several of the coaching staff from Georgia Tech, their kids play for Woodward, and they're top notch. Took advantage of those turnovers, got ahead of us 12-0, led going into the second quarter, and then Deuce on the third kickoff for them had a 99-yard kickoff return, and just a thing of beauty. Started on the far left side of the field and just wove his way around and ended up on the right side of the field and outran everybody. But they scored again. It was 19-7, and at that point, it was almost like our guys went, "Wait a minute. How'd this happen?" And pretty much scored 42 unanswered at that point and took control of it. Big game from Deuce. He had another big night. Jalen Johnson has another big night. Eugene Ware, the linebacker position, had his best night of the year. Just a solid win. We ended up with well over 400 yards. They had about 200 for the night. And they, again, very athletic. Lots of skill folks. Their wide receiver, number one, and I can't remember his name right now, as good a looking athlete as I have seen on a football field ever. He never came off the field, played every offensive play, every defensive play, every special teams play. And he was a weapon. Good quarterback, solid arm.
And you've seen Cam Newton on that field.
Yeah.
So you've seen some players.
Yeah, he's legit. And I cannot remember his name right off the top of my head. I'll look it up in the break. But I think he's committed to Clemson, if I remember right. But that gives us a win in the quarters, and now after all of the hullabaloo trying to move forward, we will finally get to play the semifinals next Thursday evening at the Jackets Nest against the folks coming from Roswell.
Okay, so let's get into that mess. We talked about it some last week, and Randy, just kind of give us a recap of this disaster.
How much time we got?
Yeah, I know. And our producer Riley will give us a sign when it's over, because we can just go into this. So many elements. But so you got the Brunswick Gainesville fight. You had 39 players for Gainesville suspended.
Yep.
And then Gainesville goes to appeal, right?
They
local
appealed.
judge.
Yeah, well, they appealed with the GHSA to begin with, and the GHSA reinstated 4 of those players because the Gainesville argument was 11 guys that were on the field did not come off the bench. But some of those guys who were on the field participated in the fight.
Yeah.
So there you go. And but I guess Gainesville wasn't satisfied with the GHSA putting those guys back onto the roster, and they went to a judge, as Jim mentioned, and got an injunction, basically a restraining order against the GHSA to leave Gainesville alone. And then the GHSA counter appealed, and then we were stuck at that point.
And so did they play? No, they did. The -39 Gainesville team did play Langston Hughes and lose, right?
No.
Or they had not played.
They
play this Friday.
They played this
Friday.
The last action that they have had on the field was Brunswick.
game.
That's
Okay.
it. And,
So they play this Friday.
That's right.
All right.
This Friday, Langston Hughes and Gainesville will play, and Gainesville pretty much at full strength is what it sounds like. Now, their coach has said that the 4 players who were in the middle of the melee who were swinging are suspended. That's what he says. But we'll see. But at least that game will get played. And the worst case scenario here was this thing could have got locked up. We were talking about it before we started taping. It could have got locked up in the court system indefinitely. And I mean, there was legitimate talk that the 5A playoffs were just going to be suspended and there would be no state champion. And that was legit talk. That wasn't just internet stuff.
That was the GHSA put that out to the schools in the Final Four, right?
This could go on indefinitely, just to be prepared for that.
So that was real news. So
they met again. Basically, the all of the schools involved, Rome, Roswell, Thomas County Central, Langston Hughes, Gainesville, all had a Zoom call with the GHSA. And I think the GHSA just acknowledged there was no way to fix this in the time frame that it needed to be fixed. We're going to play, and then we'll sort this out after the fact. And I tip my cap to them, because otherwise, if they had dug their heels in, the season very possibly just could be done. So again, compliments to at least finding a way to move forward in a mess that nobody really wins here. I mean, this is everybody loses in a way.
But everybody could have lost big time.
Big
so
time,
At least they did that. I didn't have a whole lot of faith as to what was going to happen. There are also issues. There was another fight from early on in the season from a different set of schools. And from what I've heard, again, I don't know this for sure, but I've heard that nothing really happened and came out of that fight. So you had all these issues. And as much as it pains me to say, at least the GHSA kind of pulled back and said, "Hey, let's get these kids on the field and decide on the field." Now, let's do just quickly, just kind of thoughts on this whole situation, Jim. You've got a different perspective. Your son's an athletic director, so you can kind of speak in maybe from that side, but just kind of your thoughts over the situation, and tell me just kind of a unique thing.
Well, every school has to sign a paper from Georgia High School that they abide by the rules. And the rule is you leave the sideline, you're gone. It happens in basketball. Worth County and Fitzgerald got in a big fight last year in basketball, and they had so many that came off the bench that they had to break down the suspensions and let half of them play, and then the other half had to sit out their 2 games and then come forward. But, I mean, you step foot on the court or on the football field, by the rules, you're ejected. It doesn't matter if the referee ejected. They go back and review the film. You were on the field. So if they don't do anything to Gainesville about this,
it's going to be a problem.
It's going to hurt us, because, I mean, 6 referees during the regular season can't control 200 players.
That's right.
And
it's a dangerous situation.
And again, to me, there should be no incentive. You shouldn't give in to the Brunswick kid who looks like he started the fight, but also, again, it didn't look like the Gainesville, from what I've heard, again, I don't know if this is true, but it's reported that, the Gainesville, there's a lot of jawing going back and forth between both programs. So there should be a lot of incentive for both programs to show a ton of sportsmanship and just play the game and let the game speak for itself. So
well, let me interject this too. There's been a lot of folks saying that, well, the referee should have jumped in there. You're crazy. You're crazy. No, the refs are not going to put themselves in the line of fire in a brawl. That's not.
If you put your hands on my child,
there you go. You've opened up another can.
You've opened up another can of worms.
Yes, sir. So anyway, the refs. The only thing I'll say is, if there was escalation of this, as has been reported, Gainesville was taunting the Brunswick sideline and stuff.
We don't know.
The refs at some point in time have got to put a foot down and say, "You're done. If this happens again, son, you're done." I don't know if that happened or not, but at some point in time, the refs have got to maintain control through the game so that you don't have this explosion. And I'm done. I'm sorry.
Michael Best.
Somewhere in there, there's a running clock involved. And it probably wasn't handled correctly.
It was 42-0. You got a point.
I'm thinking that somewhere the running clock was not running.
Well, it might.
Run
it was
the clock.
It was the end of the third quarter, and they might not have gotten the 30-point lead until during the third quarter,
That's
so
possible.
they couldn't
I'm
run the
just
clock
saying,
to the fourth.
if you go back and look,
It's
there's
all-
something to do with the running clock. But now
Let me
also,
send that to the GHS.
send that, just ask to look. There's a question. But also, and I get to think about the officials, but in the very beginning of it, moments before everything broke loose, when the guy snatched the helmet off, there was an official there who did not respond at all. Now, I'm not saying you got to jump in there and risk your life, but I feel like if he quickly would have started blowing
Grab the
whistles,
whistle,
waving his
throw a
hands,
flag, yeah.
throwing, getting attention, instead he kind of stood there and just watched. And I know then it's too late because
Yeah.
you got everybody coming, you getting out of the way.
Yeah.
But I feel like if there had been a reaction quicker, and if coaches from Brunswick's sideline would have reacted quicker when they saw their player, because I've seen it. I've seen
Coaches run out
situations where coaches get out there in a second and grab somebody and pull them back. So all that in the very beginning, I think everybody reacted too slow, and then it happened. And like it's a conundrum.
Look
That's a
at
Thomasville
big-
Harbor right
whoa,
there. I
whoa,
learned back in
whoa.
school that I don't know what it
Can you
means.
spell it?
No. But I'm not sure what it means either. But I say
Sounded good.
It sounds
that you do have the fact they came on the field, and the rule says if you come on the field, you got to be suspended. On the other hand, you teach these kids from day one to fight for each other, have each other's back. We're a family. We do everything together. We win together. We lose together. We fight together. And so then you've got that too. So and if you don't come down hard on them,
Oh man.
then it's going to be you're going to have
to come
every
down.
time
Open
you're gonna,
season.
when a team gets,
You're setting a precedent that's dangerous.
yeah,
to be
because
honest.
next time a good team is beating a team, well, hey, we'll fight them and ruin their season
That's right.
too. I feel like if the GHSA would just go back and say, look, we reviewed it and we didn't do the running clock right. It's our fault. Let's just somewhere in there that running clock. I'm telling you,
You
that
go
running
back to
clock.
You go back to refereeing. Refereeing is so inconsistent across the board.
Yeah.
They get the same training, but every
very hard.
crew,
Some people allow things that others
Right.
That's right.
celebrations
So
and don't
then
allow
you
celebrations.
then you don't know what you're getting into.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
right.
All right. Well,
But we're playing and we're moving
playing.
on, and that's the
right.
bottom line.
And that's
so
the bottom line, and kudos to that.
Yes.
So, and you do know what you're getting into because you're going to be getting into yes and no in just a minute.
here we go.
And we're back. We thought we were going to get suspended and have to do the game.
We sorted it out.
We got to sort
We
it
thought
out.
we were going to have to do this segment on
That's
a
why I was
different
on the
day,
phone.
but
I've
we
been nice. I hadn't
Yeah,
so you couldn't
You've
suspend
been
me.
very nice.
I
You
got
have not come on the
suspended
field.
from one,
Yeah.
but not from
He hadn't
this.
stepped on the field yet.
He
Is
has
that
not
what-
stepped on the
off
field.
Jim's been nice. I think a little something's wrong.
It's
I mean,
been,
come on.
it's
we
been
need
touch and go during the year. But
Hey, Blake Stewart, by the way, is the name of the player for
Yeah.
Woodward. I want to compliment that kid again. A heck of a warrior and great game against us.
Yeah. So Blake Stewart, remember that name out there, folks.
You'll see something from him later.
All right, so let's talk a little college football SEC title game. Bama, Georgia. We've seen this before, but a lot of Georgia fans aren't very confident. Your center with the last name of Bobo is going to be out, and the run game is suffering. And so we're going to blame Bobo because Bobo's not out on the field.
This is
that
the
how this is
other
gonna go?
Bobo. We're going to blame some
Got
Bobo
to fire his
somewhere.
dad because he got hurt.
Because his
That's
son
it.
got hurt. Anyway, kudos. We haven't talked much about the center Bobo, but he is a heck of a player, and they really missed him against Georgia Tech. Are they going to miss him against Bama?
I think so, and but it's next man up, and that's what Kirby's always said is, hey, other people practice too. So somebody's got an opportunity to step up, but it will not be the caliber of what Bobo was.
I'll be interested to see if they can shift around, put a guard maybe over there or something like that. A lot of times you'll see that in these kind of situations. But
Well,
Randy-
the playing is one thing. It's the leadership that's the other thing. Because that center position, and Jim, we were talking about this earlier as well. I mean, that's like the quarterback for that offensive line.
There's two players you don't want to lose on offense. That's your quarterback and your center.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
And you just can't in a week manufacture somebody to fill that void.
Yeah.
And that
snapping ain't easy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
clearly.
It
But
ain't easy.
But people take it for granted, like,
Yep.
line up, go out in the backyard, get a football, line up and snap it. And,
While you
but-
got a
while you got
300-pound
somebody
guy
who's
Like,
about
tee it
to
off
kill
on
you.
you,
Yeah.
about to crush you.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing. So, but maybe an interesting matchup. I'm a little more confident in the Dogs than you are. I feel like they're going to find a substitute and can work around. Bama's run game isn't great. You've got a good pass rush, so you can get to their quarterback just like Auburn did. So to me, if you can score more than 24 points, I think you win this game.
The biggest issue is that Alabama has a huge mental advantage in this football game. And I mean, we have tried to dance around it in the past, but I mean, it is what it is. Kirby is 1-7.
Yeah.
Almost half of his total losses are against Alabama.
He apparently signed a non-compete clause.
That's right. When he
Clearly.
let it
With
go,
Alabama.
he couldn't compete against him.
Yeah.
The last time Georgia beat an Alabama team in Atlanta was 2007.
Wow.
2007, almost 20 years ago. I don't have much confidence with this. I'll just be honest with you. I just don't.
I think percentages go to Georgia's side at some
I
point,
don't
right?
know.
I mean, they're kind of
If
two
It's
Georgia
evenly
between
matched.
the ear holes.
If Georgia loses, are they out of the playoff?
That's
No,
a good question.
I don't think so.
No.
They're not
What,
going to.
they've got one loss?
They got one loss.
They're not going to
Alabama.
punish an SEC team for losing in the conference title. Also, the Big Ten as well.
Well, we were
They're not
talking
gonna
about
punish
that. How
now
does
the
that
ACC
affect?
they'll do that, but no, I don't. To me, Georgia and Bama are in unless there's a big blowout. Also, Indiana's in.
Does the
on their side.
ACC, they don't get an automatic bid, do they?
Because
Virginia-
conference.
Conference does?
I think it's the top conferences. They don't say
It's the top four, but
conferences, but it doesn't say which conferences
I
those
do
are.
think, and this is it's the top four. ACC's in the top four, but I think you have to be in the top 25. So if
Duke wins that game,
they won't have a conference representative, and FSU can't win anything in this conference. So anyway,
I knew,
No, if
I
they
knew
can't win on the
I
road.
knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
so this says all you need to know about where FSU is right now.
The obligatory poke at FSU.
Yes.
They
Has to
got
happen.
basically the same record as Duke.
Well,
Not far from
really.
it.
Not far from it.
Not really, because like we beat two really,
Well,
not Power Five.
You beat Alabama.
What did Duke?
Yeah.
You beat Alabama.
Yeah, but then we can't beat anybody on the road. So anyway,
Okay, anyway.
the playoff. We haven't talked about. We'll do a show next week, but we may do one next week just to kind of short through the college football playoffs. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit of Ohio State, Indiana playing for the Big Ten title. So thoughts on that game? To me, that's the game that I'm going to be watching just because I don't know. I feel like I need to know more about both these teams. Both of them are good. Both of them could win the national title. What are your thoughts on this game? You think Ohio State rolls?
I think we win it, but we don't roll on anybody. It's like our offense averages less than 55
Yeah.
snaps a ball game because they take the clock.
Yeah.
They do. They beat you the slow way, kind of
Yeah,
like
that's a
Jackson
Bama and Georgia
did. They developed
Jefferson.
the run.
Jefferson.
Jefferson did that.
I didn't. I mean,
It was
I
one of
said-
those presidents.
Yes, it's
It's
one
one of
of
those
One of
presidents.
those Jacksons.
One of those presidents.
Anyway, Ohio State developed a run game.
Yeah, if
when
you
they
got
had-
Bo Jackson.
when they had Tate
Yeah.
and Jeremiah Smith out, they developed a run game, and it showed against Michigan in the second half. They just pounded them, and the little freshman Bo Jackson, an Ohio kid,
Yeah.
most running backs, only Ezekiel Elliott in the last
10
20
years or
years,
so, yeah.
20 years has been an actual Ohio State kid at running back, and this is a kid that
From
grew
the
up in. His real name is Lamar Jackson.
Oh, really?
But his
Yeah,
dad-
but his dad called him Bo.
That's a football family right
Yeah.
there, buddy.
So you got Lamar Jackson, the quarterback, and you got Bo Jackson, the running back.
That's
but
40.
anyway, Ohio State,
You think they roll in a
they've
close
only,
game?
I think they roll. They'll give it.
Yeah.
Only 16 points have been scored. I would suspect Indiana may get 20, 21, but I mean,
It's going to be
it's
intriguing.
going to be a battle, and it's in Indianapolis, so it's in Indiana
Yeah.
State, so it's.
And
gonna,
they have a very good quarterback.
They
People
do.
may not, if
They
you're
do.
from the
this
South.
could
you
be
may
the
not know,
battle
but
for the Heisman.
Yeah,
Because
that's
just saying
just saying
is
is up there.
he threw one bad play in the game against Michigan Saturday, and then it was like, hey, that's all.
Yeah.
Does Pavia have a shot at the Heisman?
Yeah,
For
I think
Vanderbilt?
so for Vanderbilt. I think he's there.
He's
I think,
shown us-
Yeah,
man, he's
I
got-
think he's there. So
Over 4,000 total yards. I mean, that's
I hope his
impressive.
brother gets to go to the Heisman
probably
Award show.
yeah.
just to spice things up.
Yeah. Well, it actually may make it more interesting.
Yeah, ain't no
That-
question about that.
Bring
That,
that boy with you.
Yeah.
Had his mama watching him.
Yeah.
There we go. So let's go to yes, no. It's been a wild week in college football, but we will have one FSU question. Here it is. UF running back Jaden Ball, number 13. He's still getting yards against FSU right now.
I'm gonna say yes. That boy's
270
still
yards on
running.
it?
Yeah, I'm going to say
You're
yes.
I'm gonna say yes. He was a man. Where has he been all year?
That's
Well,
the truth.
I bet now I
They
don't
ain't played
know.
Florida State all year.
Well, that's true too. I've been hyping him up all year. I really
Golly.
think he's good. I don't know. One of the things that Napier didn't do is he just didn't, feed the beast.
Feed-
I mean,
not
he would
feed him.
he would get like 5 yards, and then they would like try to throw a screen pass, like make him stop 13. He's a
He's
player.
legit now, no question.
All right, Randy. Whoever controls the college football calendar, and it is a mess, right? I mean, if coaches and all this rigmarole, and then there's people who are getting out of the transfer portal during the middle of the playoffs.
Right,
It's
right.
recruiting. It's a mess. Whoever controls the college football calendar would put Christmas Eve on December 26th.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, he did
yes.
that.
Yep,
It's true. It's
Yes.
way out of whack.
it is.
I don't really nobody really knows who controls it, but like it's a mess.
It makes no sense.
And the Lane Kiffin mess is a lot of Lane Kiffin, but it is some of this calendar stuff too.
When can we finally get somebody like Nick Saban?
Nick Saban has answers, but
He
nobody won't
does.
listen to him.
Yeah.
They, just get the guy a chairmanship or something and just say it's done.
Yeah.
It's common sense.
He'll fix it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But you do have to be willing. Think about Roger Goodell for the NFL. You have to be willing to be hated in that position, right?
Saban
But
doesn't
never
care.
Saban does
Saban.
not.
Saban
Saban
doesn't
don't care.
I don't know.
Nobody.
No.
As long as Miss
No.
Terry loves him,
That's
does.
it.
That's
You
it.
got it, buddy.
All right, next up here, Michael, University of Kentucky should have fired Mark Stoops.
I mean,
That's a toughie, man. I mean, he's brought them to new heights, but he's been at the plateau. So
I don't know what it was. It always comes down to who you gonna get. You get rid
Yeah.
of this person, but who's next?
I thought you were talking about running clock. I was
well,
proud of
that
you.
was a
There's
problem,
running clock involved in that thing, I'm sure. But I would say,
Yeah, who you going to get this better?
yeah, I would have kept him.
now
At least
they-
you know what you got. He's done a good job with them.
Yeah.
I mean, not great, but they're a basketball school.
They
so
beat
That's
the
it.
brakes off. They beat the brakes off of Florida too. But
They've been competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing about Kentucky. Give me another period of time where their football team has consistently been competitive. They're not a football school.
They need to move to the ACC.
yeah,
They'd be a better
yeah.
fit.
Yeah, be a better fit.
Be a better fit.
Basketball wise,
That's 100%.
They
right.
have basically they're in the conference just to pump the basketball,
Yep.
But anyway, Will Stein got hired. I think he's the OC from Oregon. So that's going to be
Louisville
interesting.
graduate.
He's a Louisville graduate,
That makes
and
sense.
I don't know how that's going to go over.
Okay.
All right, Jim. Mike the Tiger learned hot yoga to get Kiffin out of Ole Miss.
The mental image there, it's not worth having.
no.
You say no. Okay.
Well, he couldn't speak Creole, so I guess
Yeah.
he had to go with something
Go,
else. and so
get him there in some other way.
No. And kudos to Kiffin for not adopting a fake Cajun accent at his
Yeah.
press conference. I was impressed with that.
Yeah.
He
That was
did
a
throw
nice
a
step.
Go Tigers out there.
Yeah.
Well,
All
go
right.
watch SEC Shorts this week too. if you
Yeah,
haven't done
that was a
really
very good one. College football is so fun on the periphery and all the crazy stuff. So, but
Yeah.
get out there and enjoy what's good. We'll see you next week.